Hey guys, this is Adrian, and today we're going to be doing another 1510 on leechess.org. So this is training game number 6. I've recently been having some pretty good success, but I'm really up the rating ladder. I would say the inflation on leechess.org is around 200 points. So if I'm 1800 now, then I should be about 2000 rated. So everybody from here on out is going to be pretty good. Hence the name of my opponent. He's a 2193. 2123 is who he's facing against. I still have the question mark, and my opponent goes for an opening that I actually play against the French, which is the King's Indian attack. I do have a particular setup for this attack though, so let's get straight into it. This is really annoying against the French because my opponent can have like some really good success on the king side attack if he plays like g3. It's not 100% yet, but this is an idea. So g3, knight gf3, very good since I committed c5. And yeah, g3, okay. And so really my setup is just restraining the e5 advance. If my opponent's able to get this e5 advance, then he can start a kingside attack. So I really want to just stop him from playing this move. If I can, then this would be good. Okay, so bishop d6, knight g7. If he ever plays queen e2, I have f6 right away. This is just my setup that I play. So bishop d6, bishop g2, knight ge7. And I really want to stay ahead of the clock here because I know my opponent's going to put a lot of pressure in this opening on me, so I want to make sure that I'm prepared to commit some time in the middle game. So if rook e1 or queen e2, I'm going to play f6. If h4, that's probably premature because he hasn't clarified the center. Knight e1, whoa. So he wants to play f4. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure this is great. Only because I could probably play d4, and if f4, then e5, and if f5, then maybe I can play f6. But then he has like g4 and g5, and it's still a slow roll. Okay. I could also play maybe d takes, and after d takes, then I can play e5. He could play knight e5, but I'm pretty sure that's not the style that he wants to play in. So if you're ever having problems against the French, I would recommend playing this attack because it is frustrating, I will say that, as a French player. So d takes, e5. If f4, then I could, can I play f5? Okay, so I don't really like this too much. Well, it's okay. It's possible. I'm also going to look at something a bit unorthodox with f5, putting a lot of pressure on my opponent. Okay. d4, d takes e4, e5, and f5 are all of my possibilities. Knight d4 doesn't really make sense, although that could be in a possible try. Oh man, I'm really falling behind on time. I think this is pretty critical here already. One second, guys. Try to calculate with me and figure this problem out. All right, I'm gonna try f5 actually. This is a really unorthodox, and it really takes the dynamic nature out of my position. But I'm stopping like an f4, f5 idea, putting some pressure on my opponent's center, seeing what he wants to do about this. Um, he doesn't have to take. I mean, he still has this d pawn. But usually I don't have this nice space advantage. So I'm actually going into uncharted territory. Usually I play like an f6 and an e5 structure. The reason why I didn't want to go with f6 is because now f4 just runs straight into e5 and f5. Not let alone this drops my pawn, my d pawn. So if I wanted to do this, like how my opponent's doing, now this f5 never gets here, which is okay. It's okay. I'm thinking maybe play d4 now. My opponent will get the c4 square. But I don't really have to worry about any of this. Now I could play something like here and maybe bishop to g6 to put more pressure on the center. If he ever plays here, I have bishop to c7 with bishop to a5. If he plays d4, then this gets crunched up. So, and if he clarifies with here, then I probably will take with the e pawn or knight. Knight, they're both have their perks, but the e6 is on an open e file. And this could change the dynamic of the game. So I'm really just going to play bishop to d7 here. Bishop to e8. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm not scared of his knight jumping in. He should be scared of this bishop h5, though. So now that he got the f4 pawn forward, maybe e5. This is very interesting to me because I haven't seen this type of structure against the old famous King's Indian attack versus French defense. So c4 is not that good. Again, any pawn advance is just making all of the bishops on the board bad. I don't mind a small maneuvering game, and that's exactly why I'm trying to trade this bishop off for the knight. Okay, is he preparing d4? No, because then he has to take here first. So I think I could continue my plan. He's not. Okay, so I just got to be aware of these pawn breaks, b4 and d4. Yeah, I'm not really worried about that. So I think this is just more of a positional idea. Get this bishop pinned and ready to go. And I could trade one pair of knights, which is fine. I'll do that. My original idea was bishop to g6, but my opponent's queen is putting a lot of protection, and this knight is here too to protect e4. So I don't know how feasible that was. I want to play something like rook to c8. I got the sting out of my opponent's kingside attack. Rook to c8. If he pushes or if he goes knight here, I'm just taking. If he pushes, then bishop to c7, and then maybe bishop a5. Ideas. I have a feeling the computer is not really going to agree with all of my analysis because it is a closed position. But definitely taking the sting out of this one. Okay, I just need to move as well. I think rook to c8 is a good, fine developing move. Queen b6 should be like ideas that I consider. Maybe c4 and queen in combination of this. c4 really looks good. So I think I'm equal here. I don't think I'm better. I don't think I'm worse. With that light square trade and the way that my structure is, it's, yeah, I have to, uphold my end of the bargain. So let me concentrate on my plan now. Bishop e3, then c4. Okay, he's stopping c4. He's recognizing that his threats are starting to become inadequate. Maybe I can even play b5 here, which is a typical idea in this line. Thinking about other ways as well to put pressure. C takes, or sorry, not C takes, D takes e4, D takes e4, c4, B takes c4, knight to a5, knight to d2, can't really protect. Probably just need to develop a little bit more. b5 threatened. Well, what happens if a4? c4. Oh gosh. Okay. I'm really having a hard time coming up with a plan. I do see some ideas. So the first line, D takes C4, B takes C4, knight A5 is possible, but he also could just leave it there, which will then maybe play rook D1, and then after C takes, A takes, it's kind of a weird spot, queen B6. I have to guard this bishop on D6, which is not fun. So I'm thinking maybe here and here with rook f to d8, and then play d takes, and then c4, knight a5. And I think that will be full preparation. So I'm actually going to go for this. Yeah. So I want to see what my opponent's idea is here. Is it d4? I mean, I just chomp and chomp. And then I also have this under attack. So he has to clarify first before he moves. He's not really flexible with his pawn structure as he may think. Bishop to a3 is interesting now that I'm looking at it. Bishop to b2 is played. But that I don't think that helps. Queen to g6. Or queen to f7. f7 is also possible. I see, I see. Yeah, this is probably it, maybe. So I really do want to play c4 here now. So let's do it. So now if he plays a4, b4, c4, then d4, clogs up the whole queen side, and then my queen, it actually looks good here on the king side somewhat. I don't want to play queen g6, knight h5 is annoying, knight h4 is annoying. If I play queen f7, then knight g5 is annoying. I don't want to play a move like h6, it's a bit slow to me. I think I should be taking over the initiative here, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to play c4 here. And if he doesn't take multiple times, so like here, c4 is threatened, b takes c4, b takes c4, d takes c4, then d takes e4, and the knight would have to move. Maybe knight to d4, but maybe then just knight to b4 maybe, or just snap off that knight, possibly. It's a possible move. Yeah, I probably need to snap off that knight because e6 is hanging in the mix. But this bishop right here on b2 could be the game changer. So I really want to keep this option open of playing d4 to close out this bishop. So I'm thinking maybe, well, I don't know how to get this rook into the game. That's the problem. That's a big problem. My opponent is managing to gain some type of advantages, and it's pretty annoying. Can I play c4 now? Or takes, or d4. And then I still play take here, right? So c4 takes, then takes. Knight takes is also an option. Takes. Okay, he's about to clarify the center actually. Yeah, okay, I just need to go. I just need to play. h6, queen f7, and then c4. . This bishop or this queen actually still guards b5 because now if my opponent plays pawn here, yeah, okay. Rook f to d8 is finally on the cards. I really need to play this move d4 now. This is going to be important to my structure. Or c4. Just block this c pawn from advancing. If I don't block that, I'm in trouble. So c4, I always got to meet with d4 or prepare c4 myself. And I think that's what it really boils down to. I might even play, now I'm really deciding rook fe8 to match the queen or rook d8 to just support the d4 advance. I'm not 100% sure exactly which one is best, but with a little bit of calculation, we can always get there. So moving fast is important as well. So now he's calculating this. Takes, and then here. Okay. Queen e6 is a concern a little bit. I'm really considering taking to open up the C file. Oh, I see. He's aiming here. Might want to capture this way away from the center so I can play knight d5 and assist on the queenside operations. I'm not really scared of queen e6. I'm just going to play rook f to d8. And after queen takes f7, king takes f7, this h6 move actually looks pretty good. I could also think about maybe rerouting my bishop to b6. Possibly. I'm not 100% sure. No, I think maybe just leaving it here, waiting for this knight to jump through and taking. So my knight wants to reroute here to e4 and be a monster. So, okay, b takes or d takes, that's the big question of the day. I think maybe d takes. Yeah, because then this bishop is able to pressure here. Let's just take here. And I always have this a5 and b4 advance, now creating a pass c pawn, something that I am longing for. This knight still wants to get here or here on d5. This one looks a little bit more possible, but I could easily reroute from there. You might want to play just here. Yeah, this is fine. I'm not really worried about this. Oh, is he threatening here? Ooh. Jeez. Here. Just knight takes d5. Keeping my cool. Have everything protected so far. My opponent's playing pretty good though. I say pretty good and his name's pretty good. I like his username. Maybe play like a b4 idea. Just really get this rolling. The c pawn needs to be rolling. Wow, is this true? Is this really happening? Knights versus bishops? King e6? Knight d5? No way. Need more time. He is rushing me. He is really rushing me. b4. I think this gives away, the queen trade actually gives away a lot of his advantage. But he still has two center pawns, which is rare. And the game did go and take an unusual route. So I am happy about that because it's fresh, it's new, and it's a new idea that I can explore. And I will be looking at exact variation up. F5, such a weird... Well, his knight e1 move was pretty weird at the beginning. But I got to be able to play some good moves now. And I am not a fast chess player, but I am confident that I can at least hold this position. So the only break left he has is here on g4. And if I could stop that, actually, I'm not afraid at all. He has this pawn push. I cannot allow that. Right now I have 3 defenders. He has this pawn break too, but I'm not 100% sure that helps him in this position. A4, then b4. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, he can create some passed pawns, whatever. He might try to put pressure here, g6 and then here, but then I just leave that there and play a5 and b4. Takes, knight takes, and okay, like, I'm fine, I'm happy there. And I just gotta watch out for the square. I might even outpost it, possibly, with knight d5, or blockade, I should say, not outpost. And here it goes. Yeah, b4. I could create a pass pawn with b3 if he doesn't take. And then my knights would find a nice home here, but I would have to find a way to do that. Okay. Knight takes. I could also plug it in with a5. Call it a day there. If he plays bishop a3. And I'm threatening a fork, actually. And I'm also threatening this fork here. So I'm curious to see what my opponent plays here. If bishop a3, knight c2, bishop takes e7, knight takes e1, rook takes e1. Oh, well, he has this in-between move, which is annoying. Bishop a3, knight c2. King takes c7. Oh, I could just play king takes c7 and that forks, but boy, are these really scary. You might even play something like d5. And then take, and then knight takes, right? Okay. Oh, no, I don't have knight takes there. Okay. So, wait. Push. Bishop a3. Knight here. Bishop takes e7. Knight takes here. Bishop takes here. Take here. Take here. Take here. Yeah. Okay, that wins me a pawn. Knight here. D push. Takes. Okay. So we can't play that just yet. Knight c2 or c3. Okay. Here forks. This forks. Rook here. Knight takes. Rook takes. Push. Rook here. Knight d5. Bishop takes. King takes. Oh, I need some more time. Okay, knight takes. Yeah, here. Can I play c2? Rook here, knight here, rook takes. c2, d5. King takes, king here, rook takes. No. So I'd actually have to move out of the way to here. And if e3, then takes. c2, rook takes, c1 equals queen, rook takes, check, king here. No, not enough. Knight takes g2 should be safe. Yeah, let's do this route. I think I played the okay move here. This is gonna help me. He has two connected passed pawns, so pretty annoying. But I could take advantage of that, honestly. Yeah, I could take advantage. So if king takes g2, then rook takes c1. Let's say king f2, c2. Rook here, rook takes d4. Maybe just play c2 right away. Rook here, rook takes. No, rook takes first. c2 is threatened. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit better about this position. Pretty darn nervous. This guy has a lot of pressure. c2. Here we go. Take this out. Take this out. Wait. king takes, rook here, rook takes maybe, or can I defend with rook f5, h3? No, 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 no. Just chomp, check, check. Oh, wow. Okay, check. Just push this pawn. So maybe for, well, if he goes here, I have g5, rook check, king takes, rook takes h6. There we go, hold on. Hold the phone. King g1, there we go. This is what I'm talking about. I need to do something with this side over here. Maybe g5 and h5. g5 check takes here. I might even have some mating ideas actually. King here. Okay, let me not mess this up. Hold on. So he's gonna move back and forth, but I'm still gonna play like here and then here. Yeah. Now he can't win my pawn. And I'm gonna have two passed pawns, and the one that I really want is, okay, let me think here. I don't want the a pawn. 5 takes. Do I want the b pawn or the c pawn? No, I want the c pawn, not the b pawn, not the a pawn. Right. I want the c pawn. So I'm actually gonna play. Here. That's gonna guarantee me the c pawn. Yeah, I want the c pawn because I can check here. Okay. Good. So what I'm gonna do is push, and then go rook here. Okay, so check, king here, c pawn push. So yeah, I'm just gonna do this. Get the c pawn to here. I can't mess this up. Okay, check. Oh, whoops. Check. King has to go here. Then I have this check to deflect because so I need to get in this position where I'm. But the king can't do anything about it. Yeah. This is theoretical here. And I haven't practiced or studied my endgame in forever, so I'm actually really rusty. Now if he goes here, I have the crouching rook check with here. So he has to go king to b2, but then now I play c6, c3, or f3, and that should be game over. I'll show it out. It's gonna happen. He has to play into this. If he plays king here, the reason why he can't go there is because I have this check and then promote. So this is actually going to be a W. Wow. Whew. This guy was good. This guy is the hardest opponent I've had so far. So I wanted to keep the C pawn. I could have played C, and I'll show the variation. I could have played F3 and not C pawn. I keep saying C pawn, but it's been the F pawn this whole time. So here, now he has to play here, or sorry, there, to F2, and now I can play this move, which allows me to win the game. Because now rook takes, and if he keeps checking me, I'm going to take and then slowly swivel over here and just win this endgame. So this is theoretical. I like it. And okay, we're plus 80. I like it. Awesome. Let's analyze that one. Bear with me. The computer at the beginning is not going to like either player's position, especially white's, because technically it's passive and it's not activating the pieces. But it is aligned, so we'll skip all this jargon right here. And then you see it's just equal. After castle, 91. Is there any 91 in the database? That's my question. 91. Yeah, there is actually. There is a couple of games. And the idea is, yeah, just to play that. And F5 has been played before. Wow, I got to check that game out. But okay, it likes here to take, and then D4? C4. Ooh. Ooh, yeah, I didn't know. Ooh, maybe queen D6. I did not see this. Wow. I'm going to look into it, though. I'm going to look into these games. Hold on real quick. All right, bishop E8. Oh, we'll turn back on the analysis. 3, bishop H5. Likes, okay. Ooh, I'm minus, or what's the move here? Queen D7. He's up a whole pawn in this position, but it's hard for him to play. I'll say, so Queen F7 was the best move. Where does he mess up? Is D takes? D takes, that was another critical move. Rook F to D8. Okay, so this is the critical move where actually the computer is not even too sure. Oh, okay, it likes Rook AD1. I thought it liked 95 at first, but Rook AD1, I kind of brought it back to a balance, so I did pretty good here. Knight to D5, but I throw my king on E6. It's equal here. Wow, it's equal. Yeah, I thought so. I mean, now I can blockade the D5 square, so I feel comfortable, confident in this position. Yeah, B4, good idea. Knight takes. Oh, ooh, why didn't I do that? Knight takes D4. Knight takes B4 is best. C3. I found the winning idea. A5. Ooh. Oh, this is still a big advantage though. Takes. Uh-oh. Did I blunder? I blundered. Well, it's still good for me, but I think I blundered here. Knight takes G2, king takes G2, rook takes. So what should I have played? King takes. D5. This is scary. Whoa, I don't want to play that. Let's say he just moves. What's the threat? Oh, rook takes or knight takes. I missed this. Still need to work on those tactics. I'm actually kind of disappointed in that. But okay, I still have an advantage. And like I said before, what matters is that you still get the winning move, right? So I still got the winning move. So here, takes. Okay, so this is where I think he messed up. Rook c5 may not be good. It says rook c6 is better. And just go after my g pawn. Or rook c7. right? Well, yeah. So check here, a5, and I get to pushing. And now rook a2 check, king 3. So I guess the reason why he didn't want to play king e3, because now I just captured this pawn. And this is what I was planning, actually. And if he takes this pawn, then I take this one too. And now it's 3 versus 1. So this was pretty good. And let me get to the point where I thought that this was really good for me. This is going to be winning for me here. Now my opponent is in big trouble because I'm threatening to create a passed pawn. So he plays a3. And I was really careful about this move here because maybe he'd play this move. And if I take, then he takes here. And this loses pretty much all my advantage because I cannot force a queen here. The king can just hide. And if I ever check, I can't swoop across and give that crouching rook check, as Jeremy Silman points out in his endgame course book. Maybe I'll show you guys that book one day. So instead, I played for this one. And the idea is now if he plays here, then I push. And the same idea happens. Let's say he just moves his king around. I'm just going to push. And then finally, I'm going to deliver this check. And then here, and then now a2. And the idea is if he takes here, then I check and get a queen. And so we get into this endgame. And if we go back to this position, let's say he doesn't take. Let's say he just moves the rook here, check a few times. What I was going to do is go this way. So maybe, well, it says king e4, but he can keep checking. So you're eventually going to have to go this way. And he can never go here because I have check, king takes, and then queen. And so this is just really good for me. So he has to stay behind this pawn, and his king has to watch this pawn. But after he stops checking, let's say he just like, okay, if I play check, he's going to go here, right? So let's say he goes here. Well, now I do the same idea again. And it has to be the C pawn. If it was the B pawn, then the king can always hide on this B7 square. And as soon as my rook goes to, I keep saying B7, he can always go to this G2 square. And if he goes to, if I ever go to H8, his king can always take. So that's why it was so important in this position to get the pass C pawn, not the pass B pawn. For instance, here, let's say here, here, and then here. This diminishes all my advantage, in my opinion. I don't know if this is a win. I would have to really... And then he has two connected pass pawns. I'm not even too sure how this works out. Let's say here, if I try this check again, it's equal. But once he goes back here, look, I don't have the rook here. Rook to H8 because he just takes. And if it's my move, let's say I play a waste of a move, well, it's just equal. Takes, takes, check, king here, rook here, and then he just goes back and forth here and here. Or it just goes along this these ranks. Even if I capture this pawn, it's to no avail. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. Let's see the win though, really quick. Last thing, and we'll cut off. So it says I can win here still. Let's say king here. King here. I'm not really threatening anything. Let's go with the computer line. Well, no, I just want to see what happens. Oh my goodness, king to h3. And this is kind of what I was verbalizing a little bit earlier on. Yeah, this is going to be good. So now he has to... Okay, so this is a problem. I didn't realize. Okay, let's say push. Then basically what I'm going to do is just go here, and that's going to be mate. Nice. All right, I did pretty good on that one. Uh, my opponent was really good, so I want to, give a shout out to him. He was pretty good. And I'll see you guys next time.